Hello everyone, welcome to your Teps reading class. A lot of you I know expect Teps are very difficult, composed of very difficult questions, but as a matter of fact, they are not. They're very easy. As long as you know how to understand the written English in this level. This is a foreigner's level, second language level, not that difficult. So don't be scared. You don't need to be scared at all. All you need to do is to study hard. That's it. Okay? I'll be a good guide to you, showing around about the Teps questions and the formats and the some of the fundamental things about in English, written English. So as long as you follow well, as long as you review hard, I don't think there will be any problem at all. But how much score you're going to achieve totally depends on how much effort and concentration you show on the exams and during the your own practices, okay? So you better not forget about it. Okay, let's get into it. This is, by the way, book 2. And this is, by the way, exam 1 and question 1, okay? Let's get into it. The way I'm going to cover Teps question, I'm going to cover individual questions at each time for one video clip. So I'm going to read the whole passage once up until the end of the passage, and then I'm going to get back to the passage again, explain to you what those sentences mean, and then I'm going to read the examples. And then you're going to guess which will be the right answer to fill in the blank or which will be the right choice to answer some of the questions. This question does not come with any question stump, but some of the question does come with a question after the passage, and then based on the question, you're going to select one of the choices. Okay? So let's just start covering number 1 on your book 2 and exam 1. Orangutans with a blank. For most of them, the leafy canopy of the tropical forest provides everything they need in life, and they rarely descend from it. Another reason they live in trees is for safety. In the upper levels of the forest, they have no natural enemies. So at night, when predators prowl below, orangutans sleep in nests far above the ground. Okay, were you able to understand what I was reading for you, what those sentences actually meant? You better try, okay? Try not to separate the reading and understanding process. If you keep doing it, you may not increase your speed of understanding written English. That will be really critical when you become a better and better reader, okay? So you better start forming a habit of trying to understand written passage at the same time you read it through. That's one of the most important and critical skill you need to acquire. All right? Good. Orangutans, something. Orangutans, what are orangutans? Something like gorilla, something like a monkey, 그죠? 우리가 아는 오랑우탄입니다. 자, 이 안에 들어갈 거 보겠습니다. A. Find safety in large groups. B. Face greater competition for food. C. Are superbly adapted for life in trees. D. Are much more active in the daytime. So you're going to select one of the 4 choices to fill the blank in here, starting with orangutans. 그죠? 자, for most of them, who are them? Orangutans. 그죠? 그래서 우랑우탄의 대부분들에게는 the leafy canopy of the tropical forest. 이까지가 주어져, 그죠? 무슨 말입니까? tropical forest. 열대 그 숲의 leafy canopy. 잎들이 많이 우거진 그런 지붕, 그죠? 나무로 덮여 있지 않습니까? 그런 잎들로 둘러싸인 지붕이 provides, 제공한답니다. everything. 모든 것을 제공한답니다. What kind of everything we're talking about? They need in life. 생활에서 그들이 필요로 하는 모든 것을 제공합니다. 알겠죠? 그죠? So they don't need to go any other places. All they need to be is just live in forest, in tropical forest with a leafy canopy of trees. 그죠? And 그리고 they rarely descend from it. 그리고 who are they? Still orangutans. Rarely descend. 무슨 말입니까? 거의 descend 안 한다 이 말입니다. 그죠? 어디로부터? From it. What would that be? It will be 뭡니까? The forest. 그죠? And the trees. It wasn't mentioned in the first sentence, based on the implication of leafy canopy of tropical forest, we can easily infer the writer was talking about 뭐 tree life, 그죠? Those of the animals live in trees, 그죠? So we are talking about that kind of lifestyle of some of the animals, 그죠? 그래서 그 나무로부터 거의 내려오지 않는답니다. 왜? 생활에서 필요한 모든 것을 무엇이 tropical forest, leafy canopy of the tropical forest provides to orangutans, so they don't need to come down under the tree, so they rarely descend from the tree. 이 말입니다. So another reason they live in trees. 자, 여기까지 주어져, 그죠? 그래서 그들이 나무에 사는 another reason. So the first reason was they got everything they need in life, and that's why they don't need to come down under the tree at all, 그죠? They rarely descend from it. So the writer talks about another reason, 그죠? Is for 뭐 safety. 그래서 필요한 거 거기에 다 있고요. 두 번째 이유는 뭡니까? For safety, 안전상의 이유랍니다. So in the upper levels of the forest, 어디입니까? 그 숲의 tropical forest의 upper levels. Where would that be? Upper levels. Those of the place in the high above the trees. 그죠? 나무 높은 곳 말하는 겁니다. That is upper level. 그죠? They have no natural enemies. 그래서 나무 높은 곳에 있으면 they orangutans have no natural enemies. What are natural enemies in Korean? 천적입니다. 그죠? So they don't have any enemies they need to fight against or they need to be prayed for those natural enemies. 그죠? 그래서 나무에 있는 게 it's better for their safety. 그죠? So at night, 저녁에 when predators prowl below, orangutans sleep in nests far above the ground. 그래서 여러분, when predators prowl below. 그래서 predators은 뭡니까? 포식자들이죠, 그죠? 그래서 그 어떤 우랭우탄을 잡아먹는 그런 natural enemy들 중에서 우랭우탄보다 싸움을 더 잘해서 우랭우탄이 prey, 먹잇감이 되는 그런 동물이 뭡니까? predators, 그죠? 그래서 그 포식자들이 prowl 하는 거 어슬렁어슬렁 돌아다니는 거죠. 그 나무 아래에서 돌아다닐 때, 특히 저녁에, 그죠? 우랑우탄들은 sleep in nests, 그죠? 그들의 잠자리, 나무 위에 있는 그들의 둥지, 잠자리, 집에서 잔답니다. 그게 어디에? Located far above the ground. 땅에서부터 아주 멀리 높게 있는 나무 위에서 잔답니다. So, they don't need to be worrying about, 뭡니까? Being preyed by their predators, 그죠? At night. So, they don't worry about the safety while they go to sleep at night. 그죠? 그래서 저녁에 걱정할 필요가 없는 겁니다. So, what do you think among the four choices can be best suiting for the blank? Orangutans find safety in large groups. 무슨 말입니까? Orangutan은 찾는답니다. 뭐? Safety, 안전을 찾는답니다. In large groups. 자기들끼리 같이 뭉쳐서 큰 그룹들로 있으면 안전함을 찾는다, 안전하게 느낀답니다. What about B? Face greater competition for food. Orangutans face greater competition for food. 그래서 오랑우탄은 음식을 찾기 위해서, 음식을 구하기 위해서 greater competition, 더 큰 경쟁을 face한다. 어떻게? 직면한답니다. You think B makes sense to fill the blank after orangutans on the first sentence? What about C? Orangutans are superbly adapted for life in trees. 그래서 우랑우탄은 나무에서의 생활에 superbly한 무슨 말입니까? 아주 잘, 대단하게 adapted, 적응되어 있다. What about C? You think C does make sense? More sense than other choices? What about D? Orangutans are much more active in the daytime. 우랑우탄은 much more active, 더 활동적이랍니다. 언제? In the daytime. 낮 동안에 더 활동적이랍니다. So, what you're going to choose is not only the choice, it doesn't make sense by looking at only this one sentence, but the contents need to be filled in here at the blank, so the whole thing makes a sense and the whole thing will flow as a contents. 아시겠죠? 그죠? 그래서 이 센텐스에 넣어가지고만 말이 되는 게 아니라 이 전체적으로 봤을 때 요 내용이 전체와 잘 맞는 거야 됩니다. Can you understand? Good. So this is number 1 of your book 2 exam 1. Okay? So review this very carefully and get yourself very familiar with the written style and see whether you can actually translate or understand the written passage by yourself and try to select the question. Okay? If you know how to understand the whole thing in English in your brain into Korean, then your translation is okay. But if you don't know how to pick any of the 4 choices into this blank, to fill the blank, then your problem is not in English. Your problem is in language in general. Understanding a written English, you may have a problem. If after you understand the whole thing, but still you have a problem of choosing one of the 4 choices to fill the blank, then it's a linguistic problem, not English problem. Then you better work out with it in linguistically by studying more in your mother language in Korean, or you better read more to get a sense of in written English, to get a main topic out of it, to get the flow of the certain passages and the way author uses certain method to deliver author's main points, that kind of things you have to study for. Okay, so I will see you with the next question on the book 2 and exam 1. Until then, you study hard and I'll be missing you.